Now let's move forward from MIDI devices and talk about device panels. Device panels allow you to build device maps to control MIDI devices. You can control your devices with MIDI control changes or get really hardcore and enter the sysx strings to control objects. Let's open up an example and then we'll make our own. Go to MIDI devices and choose Import Setup. In the example project folder for this chapter, you will find a device map. Let's choose Access Virus C and click Open. Click OK to import the Access Virus C MIDI device. Select it and then click Open Device. I'll show you how to make something really cool like this. Close this and choose Access Virus C in the output slot on the MIDI track. If it's not connected to a MIDI output, connect it now by choosing an output from the list here. Click on the user panel in the inspector, and then click on the little arrow beside it. This is a list of all the device panels that can be used to control the virus. You can go into the mixer and show the panel there too. Now let's automate these parameters. Go back to the MIDI Device Manager and choose a synth that we made in the last video and select Open Device. Click on one of the channels. These are called nodes. This is where we will add, create, and edit device panels. Below that, we have the variable, parameter, and subnodes. These allow you to create one panel and have all the MIDI channels access that panel, or split a panel up and make subnodes of that panel, like a filter section and a frequency selection. Click the Add Panel button. There are 3 different panel sizes. If you want to control a whole synth like the panel we saw earlier, choose General Size. Choose Inspector Size if you want to use this in the user panel on the inspector. Finally, choose Channel Strip Size if you want to use it in the mixer. Let's use Inspector Size for now. The parameters we saw before are on the left, and we have a bunch of new parameters in the middle and on the right-hand side. Let's jump right into creating a panel. Click and drag a background color into the panel and resize it to cover the whole panel. Now choose Knobs from the drop-down here. Grab a knob and place it on the panel. The Control Parameter Assignment window will pop up. This allows us to assign a control change to this knob. Click the Create button and enter a name for the parameter. I want to control the low-pass filter cutoff, so let's call it LPF cutoff. Choose the control change number from the list here. If you want to use sysx data instead of control changes, click Create sysx here. Click OK and label the knob by double-clicking it. Now let's create a second channel. Call this one Resonance and pick the correct control number for controlling resonance. Press OK and rename the knob. You can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move the knob around. To get both knobs lined up just right, select them both and right-click and choose one of the Align options. We'll continue in the next video.